So very good evening, everyone. And today we are moving for the next lecture in the international lecture series of Archbishop Joseph Attipiti Memorial International Lecture Series. And today we have an eminent personality with us. And today's topic is on research development process, extending our knowledge. As you are aware, the Archbishop Joseph Attipiti is the first patron of St. Albert's College Autonomous, who was the first Archbishop sworn from the Kerala state in the Archdiocese of Annapolis. And in his remembrance, in his great memorial, we are organizing a lot of uh, international lectures, and this is the 12th lecture in his memorial. And today we have Dr. Leonardo Aurelio da Silva. He is a professor and a researcher in the Escola Superior de Propaganda y Marketing, which is known as in short form ESPM, and the University NHMB Morumbi, that is UAM in the short form, which is in Brazil. And is an eminent researcher and a great friend of ours. About his personal aspects, currently he teaches the marketing in the one of the most recognized institutions of marketing in Brazil. He also works in the UAM, the University of Hospitality and Tourism in Brazil. He teaches food and beverage management at the professional master's degree, and he has published and been a reviewer for a lot of international journals: the Brazilian Journal of Marketing, Brazilian Journal of Tourism Review, Revista Hospitality, Review of International Business, Journal of Food and Products Marketing, International Journal of Energy Markets, and International Journal of Consumer Studies. He has delivered speeches in various universities in especially in Asian countries like the Pakistan, India, Philippines, and closely worked in the research synergy among the countries, especially in Brazil. So on behalf of my office and on behalf of all the students who have joined with us, uh, I cordially welcome our beloved Professor Dr. Leonardo to deliver the session. Hearty welcome to St. Albert's College and hearty welcome to your session. And my dear students, you and participants, especially the learned faculty members from the various institutes who have joined with us to understand the research development process and extending their own knowledge. I cordially welcome each and everyone to this webinar session. And over to you, Professor Dr. Leonardo.
Okay, thank you very much for this invitation, my friend Anthony. I feel like I'm meeting friends, brothers, and sisters. I'm very happy. I can say that I'm very happy of being a professor because this way I can contribute to society and other people around the world. And congratulations for your Portuguese. You pronounce perfectly the name of the universities that I work for. And my intention here is much more than talking just about a topic, is to inspire and add value to the other's life related to scientific research. Now, I will share with you my presentation, and then we will talk like friends. I think when we teach with love, with compassion, when we share knowledge as friends, we learn much better than we are in a formal way. Then Brazilians are this way. Just let me check. Can you see my screen, my slide?
Not yet, Professor, not yet. You have to share. Not yet. You have to click on the person now.
That's okay now?
Yes, it's coming. Yes, it's perfect, Professor. Over to you.
Okay. Okay. Let's start. Our talk will be about research development process, extending our knowledge. If you like to study, if you like to understand the world, if you like and want to contribute to the world, to the society, to your community, to your personal life, you have profile to be a researcher. Of course, you don't need to be a genius to be a researcher. You need to be a curious person. And the way we develop and we extend our knowledge, our understanding of the world, our understanding of social, human, and other phenomena is research. But what is research? Research can be a diligent search, a studies inquiry, or an investigation. Research is looking to a phenomenon with a critical thing. Research is a strong willing to understand something, no matter if it is related to society, if it is related to physics, or any area. Research is our willing to understand the phenomena that occur around us. Have it in mind, research is not just for genius, it's to people that work hard, okay? So, why do we need to do research? We need to do research to enhance our knowledge, to improve the quality of life of people, to better understand the world we live in. So you need to do research to enhance the actual knowledge, but also to advance, to extend, to understand other phenomena, to improve the quality of life, to improve our society. We are needing research to develop a medicine to face COVID-19. So why we do research? To enhance knowledge, to advance it, to better understand the world. These are the reasons that we do research. This way we can understand the world, we can improve our lives, and you can have better control or predict different phenomena that are present in our lives. Research is very important to advance the quality of life of a country, a society, and a community. Researchers must serve people, human beings. What type of research do you have? We have a lot of type of research, but I will share with you 3 basic type of research that are very important, that are valuable. We have descriptive research. when you describe characteristic of the phenomena that you are studying, we have explanatory research that you explain in detail the phenomena that you are studying, maybe in a laboratory, depending on your area. And also we have predictive research. In this case, you use some variables to predict the future, to predict future behavior, future reactions. So we have descriptive, explanatory, and predictive research, all types of research that are valuable and very important. So just to reinforce the concept, because you need to have a strong base on that to advance in more and other advanced techniques of research. Descriptive research aims simply at describe phenomena and is not particularly concerned with understanding why behavior is the way it is. But it is valuable. Of course, descriptive research is very important, for example, to describe a society, characteristics of a society. It is important to describe a species of some animal. Descriptive research is valuable and very important to classify species, people, and many things. Of course, it has its value. Explanatory research is a little bit deeper. In this case, you describe, but you explain, you think deeply about the phenomena that you are studying. You give reasons, you give explanations why such phenomena is occurring. For example, why some people wear masks and why other people don't wear if they are exposed to COVID-19. In this case, explanatory research is valuable. It's important to explain this behavior. Maybe some people are worried, others not. Maybe some people believe that it is happening, maybe others not. So explanatory research is used to explain, to give reason, to give meaning to a specific phenomenon. And then predictive research, a little bit deeper. You describe, you explain, but also you try to predict future behavior. In this case, you will use independent variables, explanatory variables, and then you will analyze the effect of such independent variables on dependent variables. Predictive research aims to identify the cause and effect phenomenon. Very important in laboratory, very important in experimental approach. I can give you an example of predictive research in my area, marketing. You can manipulate, you can change, alter the price of a product and control the selling volume. If you change the price, you need to have some change in sales. Just an example in my area. You can use a celebrity on advertising and see if your company is selling more. Of course, here you will use statistics. Maybe simple linear regression, multiple regression, okay? But just to have it by heart. Descriptive, explanatory, and predictive research. If you want to advance, if you want to have a better understanding of a phenomena, it's important you use predictive research if your goal is to look into the future, to understand what can happen in the future if you change something in this moment. Always, when you're thinking of predictive research, have in mind cause and effect. Cause and effect. Why? But why our research is conducted? Many reasons. In the beginning, I told you that we do research because we want to understand the world, we want to understand different phenomena, we want to understand our society, we want to understand the behavior of some materials in laboratory. We have many things to understand. And when we understand, we can contribute to others' life. You see that I repeat that because in my mind, no matter what field you work, you need to have in mind that when you are a researcher, your paper, your contributions must improve the life of people around the world. That's very important. Research is just not to get prestigious. Research is to contribute to your society, to your community, to the world, to the area you work. And then we conduct research because we have many problems. When I use the word problem, I don't mean negative things. I don't mean problem in the strict sense. I mean curiosity. All of us have curiosities in our area. It makes part of the human being understand the world. And our research problem is the way we researchers use to conduct our rational, to conduct the process of research. And always remember the way you can enhance knowledge, the way we can extend knowledge, the way we can predict future based on science. Everything in science starts from a curiosity, and then you need to have a research problem, to have focus. You need to define precisely what problem you will target. This is the beginning. If you don't define clearly your research problem, your findings will not be helpful because your research process will not be developed. You will not advance in knowledge. You will not extend the knowledge. And if you are writing a paper, unfortunately, your paper won't be published because your research problem has not value to advance in the area you are looking into. If you decide to do research, remember my talk with you. What is my research problem? What problem I want to resolve? What is the central curiosity of my study? No matter what area you work, always have in mind, this is my research problem. I will be focused on that. I will do my best to respond the research problem. But what types of problems? Oh my goodness. Professor Leo, we already have problems, a lot to solve, and you are telling me to look for new problems. My friend, I'm talking about curiosity. Of course, life is dynamic. We have to resolve problems every day, every minute. It makes part of life. It's life. What types of problems can be solved? Management problems, organizational problems, marketing problems. You can use research to provide information. Those people who work with technology, you can develop powerful systems to protect future, to project behavior of companies, to look in the future, the behavior of some market. You can use research problem to enhance, to increase sales. Why my product is not selling? What is happening? Its price, its quality. We are lacking in advertising. So you also can do research to understand why your customer is shifting his behavior, his or her tastes. Here I'm focused on marketing. I'm so sorry because it's my area. But you can go to a laboratory to understand the phenomenon of a specific material in your area. In business, you can do research to enhance profitability. We are living serious problem, economic problem around the world. We need researchers need to help companies, help people in different areas of our life. You can do research to reduce operational costs. You can do research to help management prioritize some decisions. We have opportunities to research in different areas. In business, government need to do research. Different institutions need to do research to improve their process, their management process. And if we conduct research in the market, why do we conduct research in academia, in universities? My friends, we do research in academia to advance in scientific knowledge. The mission of any researcher is to think critically about the phenomena that is under study. When we go to a laboratory to do research, when we do a survey, when we do an experiment, our main purpose, of course, is to respond a research problem, but just to respond is not enough. Our response our answer to a research problem or question problem is advancing the knowledge. If you find an answer, but is not new there, it doesn't have too much value. So you will not publish. The only way we extend our knowledge is doing research, understanding new phenomena, fulfilling some gaps in literature. Again, and this is an important point because I have seen many people making mistakes when you start a paper. Where to start from? You had to start from your research problem. This is the heart of your research. You need to define precisely the problem you will target, even in academia, university. You go through the literature, you understand the most important research in that area, you understand what have been published in the last 5 years. Is better because this is the start of art in literature. And then you identify a gap because other researchers will tell you in a section of the paper called future research. Then you can address that problem. If you address that problem, you are extending the knowledge in that area. If you read a paper in the physics area, and then you see that there is opportunity to, if you read a paper in the literature area, there is opportunity to, if you read a paper in the medicine area, there is opportunity to, there is the space, the gap where you can start to advance, to extend the knowledge about that phenomenon, that subject. The most important part of any research is the problem you want to resolve. No matter if it is in the market, no matter if it is the government, no matter if it is in academia or academia. My accent is quite different. Okay? Research problem. How can I respond to the research problem you have chosen? First, define precisely your research problem, then make clear what you want to achieve with your research. What are the hypotheses that you want to test, to respond, to resolve that problem? Again, if you have clear a question problem or a research problem, you need to read, you need to go through the literature to present your hypothesis, because your hypotheses are potential answers for the problem that you are addressing. This is the reason why I'm focused on this, because once you define the research problem, you go through the literature, you present hypotheses or potential responses to your research problem, you are already extending the knowledge. Fantastic. Then you go to the method. Then you go collect data. You will test the theory against data, you will interview people. But if you don't have clear your research problem, if you don't have your purpose, your goal of your research clear, don't go ahead. Please sit down, reflect, make clear your research problem, read literature, and start again. Research is a training of patience. Yes, it demands reflection all the time. How can I respond to the research problem? Making clear my purpose, the goal, that are the potential answer for the problem that I want to respond to. And it will force you go through the literature. It will show you the method that you have to use. Once you have clear these 2 points, the next sections, the next approach come very natural, very naturally. What do we want to achieve with our research? Give a rational response to our research problem. It's quite simple, but hard to do. Simple to say, hard to do. Because you have to develop a process, which we call method, right? When we think about research, rational, it's important to make clear, step by step, the process that you conduct to investigate the problem. You need to make clear, step by step, the process that you apply to give an answer to your problem, to explain, to test your hypothesis, to give a qualitative answer for your qualitative research problem, right? Because if I read your paper, then I can follow your rational step by step and replicate your study in my country. Then we can be a little bit more sure that that phenomena is starting to be more clear to us. Very important. Have in mind that the way that scientists, researchers develop new knowledge is through the capacity of thinking deeply about any phenomenon. And method, to have a clear method, is very important. Otherwise, scientists will be skeptical about your research. Always give value to the method section, because this is the recipe that I have to follow to develop or to better understand how you conduct your research. If your method is not clear, I will not believe in your finds. I have to be clear with you. So the method, the rationale, gives support to your find. Again, what is a research problem? Where can we extend our knowledge? Theoretical, you maybe have a curiosity, focus on theoretical issues. You want to explain theoretically something. Maybe you want to understand the behavior of some chemical material, some medicine, something related to physics, period. Knowledge, period. Science, hard science. Maybe you just want to resolve a problem of a company that is very important as well. Many companies are closing doors given COVID-19, the same is happening in Brazil, even with small companies. So we have a garden of opportunities of research. Choose that one that you feel attracted by. Then there is another part that is very interesting. Where to meet a research problem? Oh my goodness. Students ask me this a lot. Master students, PhD students. Professor, I went through the literature and I'm not sure of our research. Yes, you can find a good problem, a good gap, if you go through the literature in your area. Researcher must read, must understand theory, concepts. But maybe you can find a research problem reading a newspaper. Why not? Maybe you can read an online news. You get insight. Wow, that's interesting. My last paper that is almost accepted in a very top journal was inspired by an online news. I was watching television and the journalist said, people in Brazil are given much more importance to online reviews from customers than experts. Wow, let me study this. Okay, we have problems to resolve. Just to open your eyes. Talk to colleagues. Maybe you talk to your colleague, your friends, and you, oh my goodness, that's interesting. Then you can go through the literature, then you can talk again with your friend. Maybe your talking become a great, very important, very interesting research. I have a paper published in the Journal of Relationship Marketing about pride. I was talking why people are pride in positive and negative sense, and I related this to luxury brands. My paper is there published, luxury brands, attachment, luxury brands, and pride. That's interesting. I was talking. I went to the literature on brand. I went through the literature of pride, and then I developed my research. You can get insights watching movies. Fantastic. The Man Who's Infinite, fantastic movie. You can go shopping and you can get many ideas to research. You wear masks is important, right? I'm just opening your eyes that you can find a research problem for your final work, your graduation course, your master course, or even PhD. Just looking around you, sometimes we are too stressed that we don't get to see 1 centimeter ahead. I think you understand what I mean by that. Look around you. There are many opportunities to do research. And if you have a clear research problem, if you have a clear hypothesis, you will do great paper. I'm sure of that. We have 2 forms of approach our research. Method, that is step by step, how you develop your research. Okay, we have method section of the paper. Let's say that it is the recipe of your paper, right? And then you have methodology. Methodology is the science that study different methods, because if you develop knowledge, scientific knowledge, you need to have a method. And this method needs to be validated. So the methodology field is the study of method, because we want to produce scientific method. Okay, so methods are how you develop your research step by step. Methodology is the study of method, because methods are very important to our research. Research method is a way of conducting and implementing your research. You have to choose a problem, you have to develop hypotheses, you have to go through the literature, you need to organize your paper, you need to design your questionnaire, you need to pre-test your questionnaire, you need to validate the content of your question and affirmatives. This is a big process, and it detail makes a big difference in the final output of your research. Okay, give value to the method you are using. As I told you before, research methodology is the science and philosophy behind all research. So basically, how can you approach a phenomenon? Quantitative research, you will use measuring. You will use statistic to infer some behavior from a sample to a population. Okay? Then your focus is understand those numbers and give meaning to that, to infer behavior or to explain something based on a sample. Then you can use different methods of quantitative approach. But depending on your research problem, you may choose a qualitative research. What is the difference? Here, you will interview people. Here, you can analyze photos. Here, you can analyze songs. I have a paper about luxury brand, and I analyzed some songs, because in Brazil, people are singing, have some lyrics with names of brands. It's very interesting. So in qualitative research, you interview an individual and you want to understand the phenomena from his or her eyes. What is value here is his or her opinion about a specific phenomenon, right? You will analyze words, you analyze phrases, you will analyze the content of your interview. In quantitative, you analyze numbers to infer a behavior of a sample related to a population. Okay, is a deductive process. Qualitative research is inductive process. You interview a group of people, then you infer that the population maybe has the same behavior. Professor, what is the better method? There is no better method. It depends of your research problem. Maybe your study can be qualitative, quantitative. It's up to you. This is the reason I told you before that you choose to make clear your problem, to make clear your answer or potential answer. If you are telling about hypotheses, of course, you will choose quantitative approach. If you want to explain, to go deep into a phenomenon, interview is better, qualitative approach. But do I need to use both? Okay, no problem. If both approaches can help you to better understand what you are studying, that's great. That's great. But be specific regarding step by step when you are developing your research. Does not make obscure your method. Make it clear your method. It's very important. If the reviewer does not understand your method, your paper will not be accepted, even if you had a great research problem, okay? You can use a survey. That is a way to collect information from a group of respondents. That's simple. You can collect data using survey. You send a link, then people respond to your questionnaire. You can interview. You can ask people about a product, how they feel in that environment, how he is feeling during COVID-19, how is their business, how is his life. You can have a group of people, focus group, then you present them a topic. Then you stimulate those people talking about that problem. And you take notes, and you record. Then you can analyze their behaviors, their expressions, their voice tones, the words they are using, okay? You can work with primary data or secondary data. If I'm intervening you for the first time, I'm talking to you right now, I'm collecting data from you, tell me your age, what is your opinion about this brand in a scale of 1 to 7? Primary data. If I go to some website and get a report, other research that is already done, and use those data to my research, we call that secondary data. Okay, no problem. You can use, depending on your research problem, depend your objective, okay? But I recommend you, because I do that, I like to use primary data, because my perception is when I interview, when I collect data directly with people, I feel that I can discover something new, I can really extending the knowledge in my area, okay? You can use secondary data to develop your introduction, to support your argument, or to show that phenomenon that you are studying is important to your society, okay? You need to develop this, how can I say, this way to work with different data. Of course, it takes time, but need to do to learn. Important advice. Once you have a research problem, you have your hypothesis or potential answers, pre-test your questionnaire. Oh my goodness. Don't collect data before pre-test your questionnaire. Maybe the respondent will not understand your question or some word. As simple as possible. Pre-test your questionnaire with some very small sample, or maybe ask it to your colleague, please, can you review my questionnaire? Because when you are doing your own research, you don't see the problems. If you give it to other colleagues, check, they will find problem, okay? Pre-test your questionnaire, check the demographic. If you are conducting research, you have to apply your questionnaire to the target that interests you. Otherwise, your results will be biased, okay? Be sure that you are applying, that you are collecting data with the correct target, with the correct sample. Otherwise, your findings will be a problem. Check the sample size. If your intention is infer behavior from a sample to a population, please pay attention at your sample size. Because if your sample, if you are doing a quantitative research, and if your sample is too small, you have a problem. You have a problem, okay? You have to use large sample to understand the population's behavior. That is the technique, the intention behind this. But if you are doing a qualitative research, very important, author says that you can use 8 people for interviewing. Okay, you can interview 8 people, and from there you can take some insights, analyze the discourse, you can analyze the content, you can analyze phrase, words, depend on the approach you are doing to your research. Try to use representative sampling plans, okay? Because if you don't choose the right sample, or if the process of gathering data is not right, your findings will be biased, okay? Then you need to selection your sample clearly. You need to understand the probability of one or other people respond, because once one people have responded to your questionnaire and he or she is invited again, they will respond in a different way and your find will not be correctly. And pay attention the method that you use to get data. You can use random sampling variability. In the population has equal or non chance of selection, anyone can be selected, then you can diminish the variability or problem with those. Non-probability sample, you choose the sample that you want based on your criteria. You can use convenience sample. For example, if you want to pretest your questionnaire with students, if you are a professor, you can ask them, please, would you answer this questionnaire or interview? You can interview your students, okay? And also you can judgment sampling. You evaluate the sample and you decide if you want to work with that people, okay? Usually I prefer random sampling because I work with experiments. So I have to diminish the problem of external interference profiles people, okay? But you have a menu of techniques to choose. What's the best one? It depends on you, depends on your interest. This is the magic of science. You can use your technique, you can learn, you can contribute, you can develop. Each research is a new learning. And finally, just few reminders. Choose a topic that you really love. If you choose a topic that you really love, I'm sure that you will be happy to investigate, to look into that phenomenon. Second, never give up on your dream. Even when you have a good research, maybe it can be, I'm sorry, I don't remember the word, rejected. But continue. Someone will give value to your research. Never give up on your dream. And here, just some few words that I have reflect to share with you. Doing research is a creative process. It is hard work and a continuous exercise of reflection about life. It is an opportunity to contribute to a better world through our infinite capacities and gifts given by God to human beings, to the world that we live in. Thank you so much. I hope that I have added value to your learning process and to your life. It was a pleasure to meet you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Professor. Let me take the next 5 minutes or so for a discussion session. In case if any of the students are interested to have a discussion with Professor, you can initiate the discussions. Or in case if you want more clarification in some points, you can use the best time.
If someone have any question, feel free to ask me. I try to give my answer.
I believe that there is no more questions, I think. I believe that it's a wonderful a basic session that you have given the professor as I requested, so that everyone will get a understanding about the research development process. And as the almost the major number of students are from the first year postgraduate course, they will come to understand the importance of the research as well as the process of research. In case if you have any questions, you can use it, or else we will move to the winding up of the session. Right. So I believe that there is no more questions from the participants' part. And Dean Research, Dr. Rajesh Kunjanpillai, sir, had joined in between. I'm not quite sure whether he is with us or not. I had seen that he had joined with us in between. Dr. Rajesh, sir, are you there? Okay, I believe he has some technical issues. So on behalf of the Office of Dean Training and Development, and also with regard to the Office of Dean Research, I would like to extend our sincere gratitude and thanks to Dr. Leonardo Aurelio De Silva, who have spared his wonderful time with us. And I know that it's a really different time has gone when we compared with the Brazil. And this is his working hour. And in spite, he have scheduled at least more than 1 hour for us, and we are really grateful for your kindness. And I believe that this will be the first juncture where we can plan and do a lot of other research activities also in the future, as shared earlier. And once again, on behalf of the Dean Training and Office of the Dean Research, and all the participants over here, I extend our...
Hello, good evening, sir.
I'm sorry.
Hello, good evening, sir. I'm Vidya Karan. Yes.
Yes, Vidya.
Yes, sir. I want to ask some query.
Please carry on.
Yes, sir. What is the process of writing the introduction section in any research? Is any tips to easy to how to write, how to inculcate in past research and gaps and methodology, past previous researches, and how to insert between the introduction section? Sometimes my student have confused how to write the appropriate introduction. Thank you, sir. So short.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, it's about how to write introduction.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Even though you are doing science, when you write a paper, it is a product that you have to sell to any journal. What I mean by sell, to convince the editor and the review that your paper has value, okay? Then, when you are writing the introduction section, you need to show the value of your paper. It is the advertising. You need to choose first sentence of your paragraph of the introduction has to arise interest in the reader. Then you can start by writing your topic sentence. Then you can write the problem that you are addressing. Then you can present few studies that have been done in the area, and then you present your contribution. Of course, depending on the area that you work, it can be a little bit different. But I strongly recommend you to go to the journal first. Before you start writing a paper, go to the journal, choose a journal, learn from them, structure, words they use, how they write introduction, method, results, and then you need to enter in their paradigm, because you need to establish a clear and common way of communication. So what I recommend you is read some papers, how the way they write introductions, and apply their style to your own paper. Each field has its own way to communicate to each other. That's it, what I can say to you. I hope it has helped you.
So thank you very much, Professor. So I was in between extending the sincere gratitude towards Professor. And let me continue with that. I believe that there is no more question. I will give one more chance in case if someone have questions to ask to Professor Leonardo.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, Professor, let me continue. So on behalf of the Office of the Dean, both my office as well as the Dean Research, I extend our sincere gratitude to beloved Dr. Leonardo or Leonor de Silva, who have spared his time and shared a lot of information with us. And I also extend our sincere thanks to all the participants who have joined with us from the beginning, and we had nearly 70 plus participants all together. I mean, from the beginning till the end, and I believe that the entire numbers touched nearly 100. So it's a great thing, and I appreciate all the participants for their research attitude that they have. So I congratulate each and everyone on that aspect too. And please be tuned with our activities, and you can see a lot of programs in the Albertian portal. So in case if you're interested, please do register for the forthcoming webinars also. So once again, thank you very much to everyone.
Thank you. Fantastic.